life is hard? Yeah, it happens. Famine. Yeah, that too. Developmental disability. It's not.
This is a podcast where I talk calmly about life struggles and family issues. I had this restaurant that serves 3 hours of a course, and when I calculated it, I realized they can possibly make a profit. Apparently, there's a place with 3 hours soba course, and it seems impossible for them to make money. There's a high-end sushi place where you have to finish eating in 20 minutes. Some fancy sushi restaurants only give you 20 minutes to eat. Next, the hardest thing in the past 10 years was thinking about my future, because I felt like there was no path at all. The toughest part of my life in the last decade was imagining the future, since I saw no way forward. But I still have to live, even if it feels hopeless. Even so, I have no choice but to keep living. Next, it's hard when I think about what would happen if something happened to my parent or to me. Thinking, what if something happened to my parent or to me is painful. Next, when I enjoy food, it's not really the flavor, it's the salt, the umami, and the feeling of digesting carbs. What tastes good to me is actually salt, umami, and digesting sugar. Digesting sugar. Realizing it makes me feel like humans are just animals, and it's depressing. When I think about that, I feel like we are nothing but animals. And it makes me sad. I wanna talk about my school days. I wanna share something from when I was a student. Many people lose confidence after entering the elite school, but I actually wanted that environment. A lot of students lose confidence in top school, but I personally wanted to be there. But I struggled with how to study, and even though I didn't study, I got first place on a mock exam. I didn't know how to study, and somehow I still ranked first on a practice test. The hardest thing for me was not being able to take the entrance exam. What hurt me the most was not being able to take the exam. Next, definition of God is supposed to be absolute. So arguing about which religion is correct feels pointless to me. If the definition of God is absolute, then the debate about whether monotheism or polytheism is correct may be meaningless. If the definition of God is absolute, then the debate about whether monotheism or polytheism is correct may be meaningless. Whether there's one God or many, you can really count some things. That's supposed to be absolute. If something is absolute, so you can. If something is absolute, you can treat it like a number or many. I heard that in some countries, you are they are required to choose a religion, and that shocked me. I was surprised to learn that some countries force them to pick a religion. Being forced to believe in something you don't wanna believe is painful. It's hard when I'm made to believe something I don't actually believe in. In Japan, people call something God when they think it's amazing. In Japan, anything impressive gets called God. Humans are probably built to seek perfection, and that's what God represent. People naturally look for perfection, and that becomes God. Or maybe people struggle and also find comfort in convincing themselves that God exists. Maybe believing in God is both hard and comforting for people. When I told my mom that a certain athlete looked like another athlete, she said they don't look alike. I told my mom one athlete resembled another, but she denied it. But later, she said she couldn't remember the other athlete's face, so she couldn't compare them. Later, she admitted she couldn't even recall the other athlete's face, so she couldn't compare. Next, my tastes don't match the people around me, but I've listened to some music my generation listened to. I don't share hobbies with others, but I've tried listening to music from my age group. But when it comes to drama or movies, I really don't understand them at all. I'm totally out of sync. I still don't get drama or movie at all. I'm just different. When I looked up the popular singers from that time, I realized again that my tastes are different from everyone else. I checked who was popular back then, and it's confirmed my taste. It confirmed my taste out of step with the word. I'm also extremely picky, but even if I dislike a singer, I can still like their song if it's good. I'm very selective, but if a song is good, I don't care who sang it. Next, I had a turning point with my podcast, and I was confused about it since morning. There was a change I wanted to make to my podcast, and I was unsure about it all morning. Even though I had already decided once, I started thinking maybe the other option was better. I made a decision, but then I started thinking the opposite might be better. It felt like a waste of time, and that made it painful. It stressed me out because it felt like wasted time. It stressed me out because it felt like wasted time. I've spent so much time hesitating in the past and regretting it. I've wasted time hesitating many times before and always regretted it. I thought about changing the podcast title. Since the show is about my real experiences living with developmental traits, family issues, and daily struggles, I consider renaming the podcast because it's about my real life with developmental traits and family problems. I don't know how to express all that in a simple description. I don't know how to explain the show clearly. I thought about many times, but if I can't make a change, it feels painful, like all that thinking was pointless. I considered so many ideas, and if I can't change anything, it feels like wasted effort. I don't want people to think my show is about Japanese culture, because that's not what it is. I don't want it mistaken for a show about Japanese culture. I don't want it mistaken for a show about Japanese culture, but I don't want people who are interested in Japan to understand what the show is. Still, I want Japan interested listeners to get what the show is about. Since I'm doing something very different from others, it's hard to explain what kind of show it is. Because my show is unusual, it's hard to describe it clearly. And if it doesn't reach the people it's supposed to reach, and that's a problem. It matters that it reached the right audience. 引きこもり podcast sounds dark, but I want to make it easy to listen to. A 引きこもり show sounds gloomy, but I want it to feel approachable. I want it to feel approachable. Next, there are so many tools available, and it feels wasteful when I can't use them well. Having tools I can use probably feel like a waste. I found a way to make my tofu lunch taste better, but then I got greedy and started thinking of other method. I improved my tofu lunch, but then I wanted to try more ways. I thought about using the oven or boiling it, but I got tired of the idea and stopped. I considered baking or boiling it, but I gave up. I wasted 2 gold medal figure skaters and I thought they must wanna get married after this. Seeing 2 gold medal skaters, I assumed they wanna marry. And just I expect, they had great chemistry after their performance. And as I guessed, they looked really close afterward. I see athletes confess their feelings after winning medals. I see medalists confess love before. Being the close and compatible but not interested in each other must be painful. It must hard to be so close yet not romantically interested. But when I look it up, they weren't dating, which surprised me. I checked and they are not together, which shocked me. Yesterday, when I saw their daily life videos, they looked like siblings, so I misunderstood because their performance atmosphere was so good. In daily videos, they seemed like siblings, so I misread the vibe after their performance. I researched what kind of religion was behind the certain insight. I looked up the religion involved in that case. I was some strange building from different religion, but the one I was in looked normal on the outside, but terrible on the inside. Some religion had weird buildings, but the one I was in looked normal outside and awful inside. I'm not good at explaining things, so I envy people who can. I'm bad at explaining, so I envy people who can do it well. Certain people interpreted a music video in an artistic way, but that's just knowledge, nothing to envy. Yesterday, she analyzed MV artistically, but that's just knowledge, not something to envy. I felt bad for the ski jumpers whose event was cancelled because of bad weather. They could have made a comeback. I felt sorry for the ski jumpers who lost their chance due to weather. I've been listening to podcasts lately, but I'm starting to feel like it's a waste of time. Recently, I've been listening to podcasts, but now it's feel pointless. I'm wondering if I should stop listening for a while. I'm thinking of taking a break from podcast. I strongly want to talk about things I don't understand, and I wondered how to express that well on my show. I want to talk about things I can understand, and wondered how to say it on the podcast. I want overseas listeners, but I'm not talking about Japanese culture, just Japanese daily life, and a very unusual one. I want foreigners to listen, but my show isn't about culture, just my usual Japanese life. I don't know how to reach people who are interested in Japan and wanna hear about struggles. I don't know how to reach people who like Japan and want stories about hardship. Next, Japanese people are good at enduring things. So maybe that's why they tolerate unreasonable situations. Japanese people endure a lot. So maybe they ignore irrational things. When I was a student, I had no interest in food because my world was small and I had no mental space. And back in school, my world was narrow and I didn't care about food at all. Now I do, because having interest in food requires a certain level of stability. Now I do, because having interested in food requires a certain level of stability. And now I'm interested because enjoying food needs mental space. But many top performers are really into food, which surprised me. But a lot of successful people love food, which I find surprising. Next, I suddenly remembered my parents' book about space. I randomly remembered my parents' space book. Sometimes memories from decade ago, flashback. Sometimes old memory suddenly return. Next, many Japanese people dislike Western music just because they don't understand the lyrics, which I find strange. Many Japanese avoid Western music because they don't understand the word, which is odd to me. Music isn't literature. They are appreciating the sound, so the lyrics shouldn't matter that much. Music is about sound, so not knowing the word shouldn't matter. I'm introspective, self-aware, observant, and sensitive to contradictions, and I want to talk about that on podcast. I'm introspective and sensitive, and I wanna discuss that on my show. I had a big breakthrough in my English learning, but later I realized something else. I made progress in English, then noticed something new. But I can't go back now. But there's no going back. Next, I understand why people, as I said, I understand why people say words matter. But I wonder if I can really hear every detail in music while understanding the lyrics. I get why what are important, but I wonder if I can catch all the sound while understanding lyrics. I looked up why celebrity sound shallow, why celebrity sound shallow when talking about their taste. I researched why celebrity taste talk sound shallow. They just say, I like movies and stop there. They don't explain why or how. They say, I like movies without explaining anything. Maybe sounding shallow makes them look uncool. Maybe being vague makes them look lame. They choose safe, average statement, so no one gets hurt. They avoid saying anything risky. As a result, everything they say becomes generic. So their comments end up sounding average. I found it strange when people say they wanna save money but buy expensive coffee. I add when people say I'm saving money but buy pricey coffee. It's not hypocrisy. Humans just have multiple. It's not hypocrisy. Humans just have multiple values at once. It's because people hold many values at the same time. I also don't understand people who spend huge amount on travel or a gadget. I don't get big spend on a trip or a gadget. I usually restrain myself so I can't understand people who spend a lot on travel. Next is 引き飯コーナー. Yesterday I had salad and egg salad and it's amazing and it tastes a good balance and yesterday I had chicken katsu. She used oven, so it's good texture. Chicken cutlet was good taste. Thank you for listening. Please follow this program. See you again.